In this next video, I wanted to show some of the things that come with the software, our custom shapes, our artwork, and the images that you receive with the Total Control Express. So I have the software open. I'm going to go ahead and click a new design so that it opens up a design page. And the free artwork and images that come with the program are located up here in the upper left-hand corner. They're like three yellow folders with the symbol in them. The first one is custom shapes, the second one is backdrops library, and the third one is our artwork library. And so I want to go ahead and click on this custom shapes really quick to bring that up, and you will see that when I click the icon, this window appears and you will see different artwork that is available to bring into the software and do something with. So I'm going to select this bird right here and bring it in. And the important thing to know about the custom shapes, is that it is artwork. And when you bring artwork into the software, this is not stitches, it's just artwork. You will notice in the sequence view that it will show you the artwork, and it lets you know that, hey, you have artwork in here, and now you can convert it into stitches if you'd like. So I want to show you quickly what you can do with artwork in these custom shapes. So since I have a custom shape here, I want to show you quickly just some of the things you can do with it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I want to make a copy of this because I want to fill this bird in with some stitches, but I also want to create a border around those stitches. So I really need two shapes, not just one, so I can convert one to a fill and one to a border. And so with it selected, I can come up to the top and simply hit the copy button and then the paste button. When I do that, you can see in the sequence view in the lower right hand corner that I now have two pieces of artwork. So I'm going to select the first one, and I'm going to come down to the bottom left to my convert options. I want this one to be filled in with, let's say, a cross stitch pattern. I'm just going to left click on this cross stitch, and you will see that it will bring in those cross stitches. Next, I'm going to select the artwork, the second piece of artwork, and I'm going to come over to my steel stitch, which is it's a satin stitch that is kind of a defined width, and I'm going to click on it so that it creates this satin border. So you can see very quickly I created a cross stitch pattern, and then I bordered it with a satin stitch. I can do a bunch of different things with this. I can select the steel stitch here, and I can convert that to a run. I can convert it to a motif if I want it to be a motif pattern. And in the properties box, once I have a motif there, I can change that pattern to something different if I want. I have a lot of options with it. I can select the entire design and I can make it larger or smaller. So you can see there. I could even change this cross stitch pattern into a fill stitch. I could convert it into one of our fancy fills that has texture to it. And just so you know, when you have a fancy fill, you can come up to the top properties box and you can change it to a different pattern. And as long as you're in 3D view, you'll see what that pattern looks like. If I turn off 3D view, you can see you can't really see the detail of it. So I'm going to turn that back on. I can even take this and convert it into an applique. When I have it as an applique, I can even come in to the properties box if that's selected, and I can add a fabric color to the background. It's this icon right here. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to bring up, let's just bring up this purple glitter and hit apply, and you will see that it created that in the background. Now, one thing I wanted to point out is that I do have a motif run that that is going over the top. And this is kind of fun to do. This is what happens when you have two pieces of artwork. I could create one as applique, and then I can come over and do a decorative motif pattern for the other. Let me turn this into a color that you'll be able to see a little bit better. Let me just go right to the red. That's a little bit much. Let's go to this pink color, and let me change the applique border to a darker color. So let's come in here, and I'm going to change it to this green. And let me zoom in so you can see what we're doing here. You see that I have a motif over the top of that satin. It's a lot of fun to put a motif over the top of a satin. It adds a lot of texture. You'll see the border stitch underneath the motif pattern, and it's just one of those things that's fun to do. And when it's in 3D view, it's kind of hard to see, but it's something you can play with. But the important thing to know is that these custom shapes, when you bring them into the software, you can convert them into whatever you want down at the bottom and turn them right into stitches or applique or cross stitch patterns, whatever you want to do. They're just there to use, so make sure you play with those. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this artwork library icon, and this is kind of like your custom shapes. It is artwork, but it has multiple colors to it. So it's not just like a single silhouette style. It's an actual like design. So as I flip through here, let me go ahead and just grab this butterfly right here and hit open. When I bring it into the software, because it is artwork, you can see the different pieces that make up this art. I'm going to go ahead and select it and make it a little bit larger because it is kind of a small design here. And I can even zoom in to that. And the thing that I like about this artwork is that it's already kind of set up into different layers so that you can convert them into stitches and have a little bit more control over them. So because it's artwork, again, let's say that I wanted to do these wings as cross stitch. I can convert it right over to cross stitch. I could select them both at the same time or one at a time. Now if I do want to add a border to it, I can come in at this time and select both of these. I selected one. I'm going to hold down shift and select the other, and I'm going to hit the copy button and the paste button, and you'll notice that it created two more cross stitch patterns. But all I'm concerned about doing is having that outline again. So I can come in here and convert those cross stitches right over into satin stitches, steel satin, or even a run stitch. You can see that it creates a border around those. Now you will also notice that these appear on top of this black, and the reason for that is because it dropped them down at the bottom when I copied and pasted them. But I can take this color sequence, which is the satins, and I can drag it up to right below those wings, and you'll see that it actually brings it up and in there. So now I can take my black objects and I can convert them to stitches as well. Now I could convert this one into a fill stitch. I could convert all of these, let's say, into satins. So you can see that with the software you have the ability to work with those artwork shapes that you can bring in that come with the program. And it's very similar to how we did the custom shapes. So the next thing I want to show you is the backdrops library. So I'm going to create a new document and I'm going to load these up. So it brings up, these are the same images. Basically you could bring in any photograph. I'm just showing you what comes with the software, but you can navigate on your computer and bring up any image that you have on your computer. I'm going to open up this tree right here, and when I opened it up it wasn't selected, so I hit this backdrop tool, And I want to make the height of this 4 inches because it's only at 1.7 inches, so it's kind of small. So let's make that a little bit bigger, and I'm going to zoom in. And you'll notice that because this is an image, I'm going to go ahead and change the background color to a gray so you can see that this is a photograph. So I'm going to come in here to my color, and I'm going to choose this gray and hit OK. So you can see when you're working the photograph, it's always square or rectangle, and it always has white in the background if there was no other color. So I can't do anything with this image as it is right now because there are no outlines. So once I have this up, I can do one of two things. Either I can grab my artwork tool, this line tool, and I did a video showing you how to left click to create shapes, so I can just show you really quick. I'm just going to left click and go around this whole shape to create an outline, because I have to have an outline before I can convert into stitches. So after I get to the top, I'm going to right click, and you can see that now it's an outline, and I can see that outline right here. From this point, I could convert it right over to a fill stitch. I just needed to create that outline first. Let me go ahead and hit undo and undo again to take us back to where we were. The other option that you have in the software is this magic wand. And what the magic wand does, you can see as I click, left click inside of a color, it goes and it finds that color and it creates an outline around it. So now I have an outline around all these pieces that I can turn right into stitches. So I can take this one and I can convert it to, like, let's say a motif. Let's say I want to do motifs and on every other one. And let's say that I wanted that middle one just to be a running stitch, and let's say that I wanted this one just to be a running stitch. I could change the sequence up a little bit too, but you get the idea. The magic wand is great when working with images because it will find your shapes and allow you to quickly outline them. It's just important to know that when you're working with a photograph, before you can do anything with it, you have to create outlines. And again, you have your line tool, and you also have your magic wand that will help you do that. But once you have those outlines, you can do anything that you want. And so I just wanted to show you that what you can do with images in the software and how you can take those images and make stitches out of them. So we've went through the three forms of artwork that come with the software. You have your custom shapes, your artwork, and your backdrop images. And hopefully that helps you to know what you can kind of do with those and how you can convert them right into embroidery designs or applique designs. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.